In this Mortal Kombat 1 guide, I will go over how to properly and accurately read your opponent to be able to counter them. I like to call this mind reading because it is basically what it is, right? You are getting in your opponent's head, and it can become very disconcerting for them if you keep reading them correctly all throughout a match. You'll often hear this term if you've been around the fighting game community for a while. That was such a good read. Oh my gosh, that read. But what does that even mean, right? Reading your opponent means that you correctly guessed what they were going to do next and you countered them accordingly. This is something that is extremely crucial to becoming better at fighting games in general, and in this case in Mortal Kombat 1. Learning how to read your opponent isn't about a how you do it, but a what. What are they doing after down 1? What are they doing in neutral? What are they doing on wake up? Throughout the match, you need to pay attention to the things your opponent does often and in what order. And then you'll be able to actually formulate a plan on the spot to counter them. For example, if your opponent keeps doing a down 1 and then grabbing you, the way to read them in order to counter is that first you'll block the down 1. Then neutral duck the throw because you know that it's coming since you observed that that's what they do after a down 1. And finally, you full combo punish the whiffed throw. But when it comes to reading, there's also a concept that we call adaptation, and it's heavily linked with reading. But here's the kicker. If you counter your opponent once or enough times, they might actually adapt to your strategy, and they will change their gameplay according to you punishing their obvious throw for this example. So what do you do then? Well, you rinse and repeat. Identify what they do instead of down 1 throw and readapt yourself to counter and punish them. So adaptation is a word you'll hear often from me, and it's also incredibly important when it comes to improving in Mortal Kombat 1. If, for example, you're winning but your opponent adapts to your playstyle and counters you, it's imperative that you change up your playstyle in order to counter them countering you. So you constantly need to be in a state of adaptation. If you see them adapt, you need to readapt. You need to reevaluate the new thing that they're doing in order to counter it. Instead of what I see a lot in newer players and beginners, just going in without a plan and doing whatever, pressing buttons neutral, even if they whiff or not, and just basically doing whatever you want to do. When it comes to adapting, another concept that's really important is baiting. Baiting essentially means that you lay a trap for your opponent and wait for them to get caught in it. But for this trap to work, you need to know your opponent's patterns. So for example, if you notice that your opponent likes to press buttons when they wake up, when you're standing like right on top of them right after knocking them down, to bait them, all you need to do is to continue staying close to them when you knock them down, but instead of just staying there, you dash or walk backwards to avoid the wake up buttons they're gonna do, and then you are free to whiff punish them. Essentially, that is a shimmy. It's also very good if your opponent likes to wake up with a throw because you can actually whiff punish the whiffed throw, right? So any pattern that you notice, anything you see them doing over and over again can be baited and then consequentially punished as well. On the flip side, however, if your opponent sees you up blocking an attack to punish them, they might stagger it instead to leave you vulnerable and open for a punish during the up block animation. So you have to be careful of what your opponent can do to bait you and what you can do to bait your opponent. Another component of being able to correctly read your opponent is having knowledge of the character you're fighting against. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What is their game plan? And what do they generally want to do? For example, if you're going against Smoke, then you know whenever you see them doing a forward 3-2, the low overhead string, automatically you should know to unblock the 2 in that string for a full combo punish. Similarly, also being aware of how your opponent is playing is also key. Are they playing rushdown? Are they playing keep away? And this will also help you determine what they're going to do if you, for example, walk backwards or if you knock them down far away. Is their priority wanting to get in on you? Is their priority just staying away and throwing projectiles at you? Once you know that, you can then plan ahead accordingly with that information. All these things will help you assess how exactly to approach not only a specific matchup, but every single person you go against. So I hope these examples were enough to explain these concepts to you guys, and I hope you learned something new today and that you can implement this in your gameplay. This is probably one of the biggest things that you can do to improve in Mortal Kombat 1 and any fighting game, and generally speaking. I have a Discord where people play together. The link is always in the description of the video, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at vslayermk. So as always, have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon.